everyone, this is Professor Benjamin and I want to welcome you to week 1 of this course. Again, here is the course project and we'll be working on this throughout the semester, and I'll be making little videos that go under each portion of the course project, so look forward to that in the upcoming weeks. It would be good for you to read this before week 1 of the semester and take a look at the final project example, and it'll just give you an idea of what we're going to work on throughout the semester besides your assignments and midterm and final exam. Okay, so welcome to week 1, and I am going to kind of just walk you through. I'll do this every week and you'll see a little lecture there for week 1. Right here is the description and learning outcomes, and this will give you kind of a little overview of what we're going to do during the week. So when you open it up, it'll just tell you here it is. Here's docket searches. This is what we're going to do. We're going to use word processing software to produce criminal justice reports, and we're going to do 2 docket searches, and then we'll have a wrap-up assignment. And we're going to utilize the digital technology, so we're going to utilize the docket website both at the federal level and at the state level. And then we're going to, so you're going to read the PowerPoint and watch the embedded videos within the PowerPoint. You're going to watch the videos on how to complete docket searches, because that'll give you a walkthrough of how to do this. Assignments, complete the federal docket search assignment, complete the PA docket search assignment, and then complete the wrap-up assignment. So you're going to have a couple things due for me in the first week of class, but it's a good way to get moving. So I'm going to go back here to week 1, and I'll show you right here. So here we are under week 1. I'm going to go over this PowerPoint in 1 second, and it'll kind of just walk you through what the course is, which I've done on the home page, but I'm going to do it again and give you a little bit of information about the 4th Amendment. Then we'll have part 1, which is the federal PACER docket search assignment, and right here is the walkthrough of the assignment. So it's really important that you watch the video because it'll show you how to complete the assignment. And then you also have a PA docket search assignment, and you're going to have a walkthrough. And both of these are due on September 10th. While the class starts on September 8th, all assignments are always due usually they're due on Thursday. So here we go. The class starts on Tuesday, the 8th, Wednesday, the 9th, Thursday, the 10th. Usually all assignments are due by Thursday, and then you'll have a wrap-up assignment on the last day, which is on Sundays. So you'll always have a wrap-up assignment due, and the wrap-up assignment directions are found within the assignment. If it requires a walkthrough video, there'll be a walkthrough video there. If it doesn't require a walkthrough video, like this actually asks you to do a docket search, and you've already done that in the assignments, so you'll have an idea of how to complete that. Right here is a help discussion, and this is really helpful for students. I want you to kind of interact with each other because that's one of the learning outcomes of this course, but you can post a question that you may have, like I'm having trouble doing this, and then one of your classmates can either type in or I can type in and give you feedback as to maybe why you're having that issue. 9 times out of 10, I may say to you, go back and rewatch the walkthrough video because it may be able to help you be able to answer your questions. So that'll be there. All right, so let's take a look at the PowerPoint right now, and I have that open right here. And so I've gone through this on the video on the home page, but I just kind of want to walk you through the importance of this class. So I want to welcome you to Technology and Criminal Justice. This semester we're going to do a lot, and some of you may feel overwhelmed already, but please don't. Take some time to get into the class. Remember, we're in this class for 15 weeks, so we have a lot of time for you to get into a rhythm and for you to work out some kinks. Always make sure you go read that syllabus, though. That's really important. So we're going to, we'll use various databases, software, and applications to analyze criminal databases. Criminal data. Be sure that if something doesn't work out the first time, you don't give up. You try again, right? I know that's an old, kind of statement, but it's really important for you. If you mess up, you may have to go back and redo it again. And that's why it's important in this class to give yourself some time to complete the assignments, because sometimes things just don't work out the first time you do them. I know just in life, things don't work out the first time. And so it's important for you to try again, and this will be helpful. So here are some of the applications we're going to cover. And this class is super important, especially with what's going on in the world today. absolutely essential course. So in this ever-changing world where opinions are taken as facts, it is important to analyze and interpret data in order to dispute people's personal opinions. So this class is going to be really about the actual facts. So how we're going to look at databases and extract information from those databases. Again, we'll learn about technologies that are currently being used that could potentially violate your Fourth Amendment rights. And in this class, we'll analyze criminal justice databases to find percentages and numbers affected. We will learn how to produce detailed police reports that are concise and factually sound. We'll use software that will enable us to create crime scene maps. So we're going to do a lot. So let's start with the Fourth Amendment. What is it? Let's talk about it a little bit. So what is your Fourth Amendment? The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. So this is a lot, but this is your Fourth Amendment right. And there are a lot of new technologies out there that very well may violate your Fourth Amendment rights, and you want to make sure you're aware of those, okay? And that you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. So here's a wonderful video from the Khan Academy that walks you through the Fourth Amendment, and it's really important for you to watch this video. It'll give you some really good background on the Fourth Amendment. To the Fourth Amendment, there was the third-party doctrine, and this is really important. As a general principle, an individual possesses no reasonable expectation of privacy over information voluntarily conveyed to a third party. Why does the third-party doctrine matter? Please watch this video. When you click any of those little I agree, a lot of times you are giving away your right. And so it's really important. So for example, hey, TikTok's the new thing, right? Everybody's making TikTok videos, right? Well, you've pretty much given away your rights because you have clicked I agree to the terms and services of TikTok. So they're collecting data on you by what songs are the most popular, what are what are the most musical, even just the sounds of the music are most popular. They know that, right? And they can follow the trends and look at the information. So you give up a lot of information, especially in this digital world that we live in. So this is a really great case, Smith versus Maryland decision and the United States versus Miller. They're super important decisions that you should know about. And these decisions solidified the third-party doctrine. This is how the third-party doctrine became okay to be used, right? Under the doctrine, if you voluntarily provide information to a third party, the Fourth Amendment does not preclude the government from accessing without a warrant. And this is really important. So a lot of the stuff you upload on the internet is third-party information, and it can be used. It can be used against you. It can be used to find information about you, etc. So you want to make sure that you're aware of this. So I just want to ask you a couple things. Does the following violate the Fourth Amendment? And I want to just ask you a couple questions. So here we go. Law enforcement authorities in New York are joining a nationwide trend to push Google to share phone data on anyone using its location tracking services near the time and scene of a crime. And they actually use this a lot in the protests that are happening, is that they actually were able to figure out Antifa individuals or other parties that were embedded into protests because they were able to see who's searching for who within a protest. And so this is really important. This technique uses a type of search warrant known as the reverse location or geofence and warrant, which gives authorities location information on Google users who have Android phones or use apps such as Google Maps. So when I use Google Maps, it says, can I allow? And if I click allow, guess what? That's a third party, and I've given up my rights. You need to know that, right? But remember, here's the other issue. It's a double-edged sword. If you say deny, correct? If a little pop-up comes up and says allow or deny, and you deny, a lot of times you can't use the app. So that becomes a big issue. It becomes, you feel like you're pigeonholed into saying allow, but in actuality, you're also giving up a lot of data when you're doing that. From this bucket of data, law enforcement then try to figure out which phones may be tied to suspects or possible witnesses in that area if they've searched for a specific location, right? And they use this in the court a lot. Like, if my cell phone, if they seize my cell phone and with a search warrant and they search it, they can see where I've been, right? Because if I use Google Maps, they can tell where I've been. I very well could have been at the scene of a crime, right? I might have searched someone's address. And so that's really important. So is this constitutional? It is. It's constitutional because it's covered under that third-party doctrine. Amazon Ring cameras, another thing. Camera doorbell. For months, the company has been partnering with local police departments to hand out free or discounted Ring system to residents, which allow police to request and access footage directly from the smart door cameras using the Ring Door Neighbors app. So I have a Ring camera and I can see what's going on in my neighborhood, correct? But when I post things to that neighborhood app, guess what happens? Is that police can use that, and it's part of the third-party doctrine. And so, is this constitutional? And yeah, it is. And here's a link to an article that talks to you about it. So make sure you look at that link. Same thing here. Look at this link as well. So next thing, next issue we want to cover is familial DNA. So I want you to look at this familial DNA about a murder and how these new Ancestry.com, where they swipe for DNA, it can be used. It goes into a database, and then that law enforcement pulls from that databases to look for matches. And I give you a couple cases where that actually came to light, so you want to take a look at that. And here is another case, the Grim Sleeper. This is a big case, and it's really amazing. So here is a wonderful link to the article, but this is the same thing where it was all about familial DNA. So his son did a swab, and then guess what? They were able to match this to the Grim Sleeper. Stingrays. What are stingrays? Stingrays, also known as cell site stimulators, are invasive cell phone surveillance devices that mimic cell phone towers and send out signals to trick cell phones into the area into transmitting their locations and identifying information. And these are really, really scary, is that they can set up a device right outside of an area and they can track you down to the room that you're in. Because remember, your cell phone is always sending pings out. It's always sending pings out. So from its geographic location, stingrays can be used. Predpol is another one, has a precise definition of predicting policing. For us and our customers, it's the practice of identifying the times and locations where specific crimes are most likely to occur. The issue with this is that sometimes now we predict where crimes are going to happen, but then that sequentially leads to false arrests, okay? Or it can lead to biased policing, meaning that we look in areas, we look for specific individuals, and we arrest individuals that may not very well be actually commit the crime. And so this is a big issue with the fact that it's over policing. It may not work. And then you'll have people on the other side of the fence say that it helps predict crimes. And so Predpol is a big issue. It's something that we definitely will talk about throughout the semester. But we need predictive policing sometimes leads to racial bias, and we need to think about that and look at that. So that's the end of this week, and I know I rushed through a couple of the end slides, but I want to make sure that you kind of are aware there's tons of data within here. And if you have any questions about any of these, feel free to reach out, but I want you to research some of these because we're going to come back to these on the midterm and final exam, and I want you to think about how these do not violate your Fourth Amendment rights, and I want you to start thinking about it a little bit, and how important your Fourth Amendment is in this world, especially in this age of digital material. I want you to think about how important your Fourth Amendment rights are. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I hope you enjoy week 1 of this course.